Hello, Charlie. Okay, so we've got the two taps here. So this is the threaded part here that goes onto the jumper, and this was the repair pass. So this is a very thin piece of brass sheet, and the lead hasn't really taken onto this part of it here, so I've cleaned some of this up here. I've heated this up, and interestingly, can you see the little bit of lead solder there? So it appears to be made out of two parts. I intend to machine this part off because it's quite badly formed or corroded, and then I'm going to machine out of brass another ring, but in order to hold this in the lathe, because it's quite fragile, I'm going to machine some of this brass here so that sits in it. I'll let it in place and it'll be pretty secure to machine, and I'll make a new washer out of this bit of brass bar. I have noticed that the rubber that you've used for this, you might need to cut another bit. It's not very good, it's quite badly shaped, but also there's a tear. You can see the tear in that, look, there's quite a tear in that, so you don't want to be coming back to that again. I've also noticed that on the original, this thin lip that obviously traps the rubber in place, it's actually quite thin. It's surprisingly thin. So anyway, I'll machine something out and we'll have another look in a bit. I thought I'd just do a video because if we have to ever repair this one, it'd be quite refreshing to be able to come back to this video and see what we did to this one. Okay, bye now. Okay, so we're in the lathe now, Charlie. So this is the threaded piece that goes on the jumper, and here was this piece of brass bar. I've machined that and then lead soldered this threaded part into the brass bit. Okay, and what I've done is I've machined this face here that needs to have this, that big washer effectively on here to trap in the rubber, and I've also put a rebate in here, so I'm hoping to now machine the washer to go in here with a rebate. What it does, it gives us a greater surface area for the solder to grab hold of. Okay, back in a mo. Okay, we're back in. So we have now, this is going to be effectively the washer, if you like. This was the piece that was attached to that lump of brass, where I soldered it in place to temporarily hold it while I could machine it. So I'm just gradually whittling this now away. See that rebate, look, see how it fits onto there now, look, it just locates very nicely. So I've now got to remove this interior to create that stepped rebate effect that the rubber will push against when you screw this down onto the jumper. Back in a bit. Okay, we're back again. So I've machined this. This is effectively going to be our washer. So where I put this screwdriver just in there, that is the back side of where the rubber is going to push against. So if I put the other threaded piece in here, which is obviously going to have to be silver soldered onto here, you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. So there's the threaded section, and there effectively is the stop that the rubber is going to push against. So I've got to now remove this portion of the brass from here and silver solder it onto this ring here. This will go back in that original jig, so I can put it back in the lathe to then machine the face of this here, and that's the bit that you'll see. Okay, back in a bit. Right, we're back again. So the two pieces have now been silver soldered together. So the threaded section, and obviously that other piece that I've just machined. You can just see the silver, can't you, around the middle there and the flux. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, this is the final part of the video. So here is the finished part. I'm going to see the lip inside there, which will trap the rubber. Obviously this then screws onto the jumper. That's it, done. Bye now.